Hickok 45 here. By popular demand, we are bringing you, guess what? A Swedish Mauser. I think I've been getting requests to get my hands on one of these for about 3 years and had never fired one or held one that I recall, but we've got one on the table. Model 96. Actually, we have a couple. We'll talk about that. And you were looking at the disc that they put in the stocks and some of the rounds that it fires. The 6.5 by 55, a little different. Can't buy those in bulk at Walmart, sorry. I'm especially sorry because it's an interesting round and I have discovered fun to shoot. So we will talk about the disc and some of this. Well, let's look at the round while we're talking about it. The round was developed in 1891 by the United Kingdom of Norway and Sweden. They wanted a round and developed this one. And as I understand, they wanted to use the same round, kind of like NATO. We use our 5.56 and our 7.62s and everything, but not necessarily the same rifle. And at that time, both countries were looking at rifles, and turned out that Norway went with the Krag Jorgensen design in this caliber, and Sweden went with the Mauser variation. Probably looks like a Mauser, doesn't it? Very much like it. Just a few changes, few differences. Okay, so pretty interesting. It's a different round. Whereas the Mauser fires a 8mm. Basically it's 7 point something, almost 8mm, and this fires a smaller diameter round. But it's a really sweet shooter, and I see why people have requested this and why some people just love these things, because they're low recoil, but they're also very effective. That cartridge it's a cartridge that has a lot of punch. It really does, even though it's a smaller caliber. It's kind of like a 270. There's a lot of cartridges that just get the job done, even though they're not large caliber. And this is from what I understand, what I've read and heard, a lot of people love this cartridge because it just seems to be really effective. It has a really good ballistic coefficient. It's a long, heavy bullet. It's almost as heavy. This one is 142 grains, I think. 139. I had some here that are 142. So it's almost the same as the NATO round, 7.62 by 51. That it's 147 grains standard load weight. But it's this smaller diameter and longer, so you get a really nice ballistic coefficient with that. Let's just shoot a couple. Now, I'm not going to do any trick shooting, so in terms of that ballistic coefficient, we may not learn too much. But I'm going to take a few shots here with it. This is a beautiful variation here. You notice it's 1917. That's just a couple years after I was born, and it belongs to a fellow down at the Academy of Self-Protection in Jolton. Lent this to us. We certainly appreciate it. Beautiful gun. I'm not sure this one was ever issued. It's like a new one. It really is. He got him a jewel here. I'll have to be especially careful with it. So let's put a round in the chamber and put my ears on. And I have just taken a couple of shots with it, but it seems to be in the vicinity. We'll just see. We're not going to do any like trick shooting, like I said, but it has a pretty nice trigger, and I don't know. We'll see if we can hit the plate with it. Oh yeah, you would like this gun. It's hard, and it's a relatively low recoil. Oh, that's nice. Let's try something closer. That's not such a challenge, like this pot right here. Wow, just put a hole right through it without breaking it initially. Let's go back over there and put one on that cinder block. We should have one round left. Looks like a dusty hit. So, interesting round. It would be a good one for someone who is, I always say that, I know, but recoil sensitive, someone who doesn't want something that's going to beat them around a lot. And I see that's why it's so popular. Effective, but yet not a shoulder puncher necessarily. Okay, so like I say, that was 1891 as they developed these guns. This is the Model 96. Why? Because that's basically, I guess, when it was finished. And then I don't think a lot of them were developed or manufactured until around 1898. I wasn't around at the time. But real production, I think, began in around 98, a little bit before that. And this one that we have here, Carl Gustaf, they made most of them, okay, in Sweden. They made the vast majority of these things. That's why if you see these, that's probably what you're going to see on the receiver, because they just made, I think it was almost 500,000 of them, about 475,000 that they made. And they also, when they got to 1930s, late 30s, they did a lot of the conversions to the shorter guns. They called that one, most collectors call it a 9638, although the manufacturers, I think, in Sweden, I don't know if they ever officially, or the military dubbed it that. But it's a wonderful gun. The Swedes you can tell that they have they used a lot of attention to details, I'm trying to say, and really tried to, if anything, improve over the Mauser. Let's hold the Mauser up. Not that I can show you any improvements necessarily, but this is the K98 here. And just to give you a look, in case you don't believe it's a variation of the Mauser, of course. And we got the turn down bolt on this one. I can manage both of them here together, but let's open that baby up. You got basically the same bolt action there. If you look at the bolts, Mauser is one of the most copied bolt guns, of course, out there. So many guns are a variation of the Mauser. So you see a little bit difference in the design, some of the lockup, but a very attractive rifle, no doubt about it. And of course, Sweden was neutral during World War II. As I understand, some of the Finnish army used these, but so a lot of these probably are in good shape, other than maybe from training. Now your rounds, I brought a couple of 8mm rounds out. You see a difference there, of course. You got the smaller diameter bullet. That 6.5 is what is that? It's like between a 25 and 26 caliber, essentially. And something maybe like a 25-06, in that category, I guess, or 264 caliber or cartridge. I've never really fired before, but interesting, and it just doesn't walk you around. It really doesn't. I don't have any clips for the. I don't know if those would work. Probably would. I don't know. Okay, so that's the K98. Nice gun. It really is sweet. Like I say, most of these were made by Carl Gustaf. And you get Husqvarna. You may have a chainsaw, that's made by them, or a lawnmower. I'm not sure what all they do make, but they made quite a few of these. I don't think it's around 20 or 30,000 initially, and then they made a lot of the Model 38s. Excuse me, the Model 1938s. Because when we got into the late 30s, into the 30s, militaries were realizing, partly maybe because of the development of powders and bullets and things and better cartridges, that we didn't really need one quite this long. And almost all the companies and militaries of the world kind of made that transition to a shorter rifle, like the K98, even the Krag carbine, and of course this gun right here. And you wonder what that is. That's the same gun. This is a Model 38, basically. This is the same gun, Swedish Mauser. This one's mine. I just found recently. I found it in the same shop, Jolton Gun Shop, and I bought it. And I had planned to borrow one from them. For months we were going to do that, and so this happened to have two. And this one is the 38. This is converted by Carl Gustaf. Same outfit. And this is a 1908 gun. You can see by the date there. So this was back when they used walnut stocks on them. I think they put walnut stocks on them to up around 1914. That's why this other one, which is a 1917, has a beechwood stock on it. This has a walnut stock. Now I've taken this one apart since it's mine and looked at the stock, and it is original. The serial numbers on the stock match, and the butt plate and the bolt and everything. I think the only thing that doesn't match in terms of serial number was the floor plate there, maybe one of the rings up there. But it's kind of neat having them where everything is original in parts. My guess is that this borrowed one matches as well, because I don't think it's had a lot of work done on it, probably. It's in such great shape, but I didn't want to take the stock off because, you know, you end up having to maybe get a sledgehammer and work on those rings and get everything. Actually, I did on mine. I had a lot of trouble pushing that little metal down enough to get this one started off. You know, I was using brass, but I scratched a little bit. I didn't want to do that with somebody else's gun. With mine, it's okay, because it's kind of it's not really a beater, but it's you know, it's not anything like this one. Let's take a couple more shots. Now I've got different ammo here, what I could find, and I ordered. I think I'll try some of this. This is 142 grain. Ooh, M King. I guess that's Match King. Let's try some of those. Okay. Because I knew we were going to borrow this, so I've been ordering a little bit and picking up when I find it here and there along the way. Let's see if we get good reaction out of this stuff. You know, a lot of people, when they look at a bolt gun like this, they, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but yeah, where are you going to find ammo, and it's expensive. Hey, every ammo is expensive nowadays, and I would encourage you not to overlook these old classic surplus bolt guns just because ammo is not at Walmart, and maybe it's a little more expensive. It's all expensive. You're looking at $1 a shot for almost anything you shoot. And the thing is, with a bolt gun, you're not putting a 20 or 30 round magazine into the gun and, you know, and dumping $40 or $50, you know, in just no time. So really, it is something to think about if you have interest in these guns, because they're really cool. Let's see if we can hit something else here with it. Let's work on that cinder block a little more. All right. Wow, that was a big cinder block, one of the thick ones. What, a 12-incher. Now, I don't know if I have these sights, I can even see the sights well enough to hit the rest of that. All right. Okay. You know, I am left-eye dominant. But occasionally, I can dominate even with my right eye, right? But sometimes I don't. Let's try the watermelon. See if I can dominate it. Whoa! Hey! I see a couple of, well, I see a 2-liter while I'm on a run here. There's a 2-liter over there. Hey! Tell you what. I may not get this gun back. I'll try, let's try the red plate. I got too fast there. Missed the big target, hit the little ones. Oh, that is nice. You know, this is an interesting bolt too. I was reading, I know you didn't know I could read, did you? But I was reading about the design of the bolt, and you have the serrations on there to help you take the bolt apart easier. And you notice a different design here. Of course, you can release the bolt, pull it like that. But I read that this upward piece on there, and who knows, whether it's a myth or real, made sense. Said that was the soldiers could dry fire, and they'd let them dry fire as long as they had a piece of leather to just put right here, like that. So it's just easier on the gun, bolt, firing pin, whatever. So that made sense to me. Now also you notice this is, you may not have noticed because I haven't said anything about it, but this is a cock on closing bolt, like the Lee Enfield. See, it's not, it cocks, there's a little resistance there. See that? There's the spring, so it cocks when you push it forward and close it down. So now it's cocked. If I pull the trigger, well, I'll just let that down the hand. Okay, now, just bringing it back doesn't recock it. You can see on the back there, it's not cocked. Not until I push it forward. It's like a Lee Enfield, kind of interesting. Okay, now also a couple of interesting things about this that I might know. You got little markings, and both mine and this one have them. You got the little crowns there, and the first crown, as I read, indicated that the gun had been accepted by the military, and the second crown indicated that it had been shot for accuracy. And then below that, you're liable to have a variation of symbols and things. Whenever they worked on them, they were back at the armory, whatever, they would stamp something there that might indicate where it was worked on, or it could indicate something else. Now mine, I did notice it said, if there's an S there, and mine has the S, it indicated that it was set up for, it had a threaded barrel to take a blank adapter to shoot blanks, and they use those in training. They shot actually wooden bullets and this adapter they put over the barrel would shred the wooden bullets as they came out. Maybe we could make some of those. It'd be more ammo available, right? We could make some wooden bullets. I've got a lot of trees. Maybe I should start a new business. But that was kind of interesting. And then also I read that if there's a T on the side of the sight, which this one has, that indicates it was set up for the newer, I guess, Spitzer bullets that they were loading at the time. This one doesn't have that. I don't know, maybe during the time period between 1908 and 17 that all of them were set up for that. I don't know, but I don't want to get too nerdy about it. But it's interesting what you can learn. And that's the neat thing about these old rifles. They have so much history. You learn more about the countries as you get into these things. You learn about the manufacturing processes and just everything. It's fascinating. Now, you might ask why I have the Krag out. The reason I have that out, as I said, Norway went to the Krag Jorgensen rifle when Sweden was choosing, they're making their variation of the Mauser. But that's why you might see a Krag somewhere, and it's not chambered for the 30-40 Krag round, because that was our cartridge. But originally, this gun was chambered for the 6.5 by 55. And you might find one. I remember seeing one up at Friendship, Indiana, for sale. And I looked at it and said, "What cartridge is that?" It didn't compute. I wasn't as familiar with the cartridge at the time. But I mean, they're available, just like 30-40 Krag. People are loading these. This is one round I could probably find. I could probably go in the house online and order 100 of these rounds right now. Same with 30-40 Krag, because I shouldn't say that. Oops, I just cut myself on something. But it's available. Okay, it's not cheap like any ammo. No ammo is cheap these days, but you can find it. All right. So that's pretty. Let's shoot. You want to shoot mine? Okay. I thought you did. Let's just take a couple shots with it. I think the sights on it are in pretty good shape too. Now again, this is the model 38, and it is a Type 1 model 38. It's shorter. It was converted by Gustav, and but I think they were pretty much the only ones who converted them. I don't think Husqvarna did make conversion. Husqvarna made the originals. They made a lot of Model 38s, but they were purpose built, as they say. They had the turn down bolt, and they started life as a Model 1938. Okay, whereas this one was cut down and commonly referred to as a 96 38. Why? Because it started life as one of those things, and then it was cut down. Okay. That's why, as I was showing you, it has the S under there, which was, according to my information, indicates it had a threaded barrel for the blank adapter. Well, it doesn't now, but that's probably because they cut the barrel off and modified it. Who knows? I could be wrong. All right, let's see. I've shot this one 4 or 5 times. Also, that's about it. I'll start out close. How about these soft drinks right here? How about that one hiding? Let's check the sights a little bit on that 12-ouncer right there. I knew that was off. That was me. Okay, I just got a little too frisky. I think I didn't pull the bolt back far enough, quick enough, fast enough. Okay, I might not be able to get him cleared on camera. There we go. I was just thinking I need to keep a screwdriver. Oh, that should go on in. Okay. I need to keep a screwdriver on the shooting table and a sledgehammer for times like these. There we go. And let's just go ahead and get one of the 2 liters there. Oh, nice. They're fun. They are fun. Again, this is a Type 1 model 1938 because it's a conversion. The Type 2 are the ones that are purpose built, that were made as 38s. Started life that way. Okay. Let's try a different ammo. Since I bought all this ammo, now this is a Swedish match, 120 grains. Now that's a lighter ammo, so who knows? I might have all kinds of excuses for not being able to shoot that one well. But since we're doing this, if I don't bleed too much here, I got it caught in that bolt. No, I got it caught in the Krag action. That's what I did, I think. That's all right. I don't mind drawing blood for a good cause. I really don't. Nice. Now there were some of these made, by the way, too, before. Let's see, there was a Mauser actually made some of them, I think. The Germans made some, only about 20,000 or so in the early days, I think, of the production. And then there was also a, what was it, a model, like a, I forgot what it was, but there was a model that was a sniper version too. But, you know, again, the main versions of this gun, the ones you will see, are this, the 96 full length, or the 38, you know, kind of a shorter version of it, short rifle as they call it. Okay, those are the ones you'll see, and pretty neat. So these will be a different type round. Okay, lighter bullet. Well, let's take a shot over there at that plate, and the red plate, and we'll see if we can tell any difference, point of impact. Okay, maybe if you're, that's a pretty light bullet. That might be a varmint round. I don't know. You people that hunt might have some ideas about that. I'll hold right on it and see if we get close. Okay. At 75 yards, I wouldn't expect it to make too much difference. Or 70 yards, whatever that is. Oh, nice. I got a couple of pots over there. Let's try those. I may not be able to see that little one well enough, or the sights. I can see the pot, but I'll take that. I'll take that. Let's now this is a lightweight bullet. I don't think that was a hollow point, was it? Let's try this 2 liter here, see if we can tell any difference in this reaction. Because that's probably a faster, you know, lighter round. Might be a good little prairie dog or groundhog round, you know, with a gun like this. I don't know. Oh man, these are sweet. I wish you could be here, all thousands of you, but if you could just work that action. Of course, you get that with any Mauser, I guess, but it just feels really precision. You get the feeling that these things are extreme quality. And I did read that the Swedes did take some of the very best steel to make these, very best tool steel alloy. And even the ones that were made in Germany, they sent the steel over there. I mean, they really wanted to make, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read that specifically, but how much they wanted to improve over the original design of the Mauser. But it's like that's what they had in mind, trying to really do it right and do a better version of it, if there's such a thing. Now, this thing we didn't talk about specifically enough. Let me show you now. I don't know everything about it. In fact, I've seen some conflicting reports on it. This disc that's in the stock is something that they would update the condition of the rifle with, and as I understand, there are fakes. You can buy them on eBay and everything else, and, you know, so, which is good. You know, if you're missing one, you got an old Swedish Mauser, and you got a empty circle there, that's, you know, fine. That completes the rifle, right? But they would use that. Let's see, I think this part here was indicated how much holdover you needed on this particular gun, based on the sights and the rounds. And this little pie with the 1, 2, and the 3 had to do with the condition of the bore. So whenever it was back at the factory, they would rate the bore and give it a 1 or 2 or 3. I read somewhere that if it was a 3, they wouldn't even punch the 3. They would just re-barrel it maybe. But that's what the 1, 2, and the 3 were about. And then up in here, all these numbers, who knows what all that means. Now that has to do with the throat and the chamber, the bore, the condition of it, and how much it has worn. And they would check it. And they would, like that's 646, if that's what the measurement is, you know, it goes to 6.55, you know, so we're 646. And out of mine, the 9 is punched. So you're supposed to replace, I think, the 6 with the 9. So whenever they did that on mine, measured it and checked it, and who knows when that was. It could have been you know, 1930, it could have been 1950, but so mine is supposed to read 6.49, almost 6.5, you know, on the you know, in the diameter and the throat and the wear and all that kind of thing. So they don't tell you a lot because you don't know when they were in the shop and when it was punched. There's apparently no date on them. They didn't really date them. But that's kind of an interesting system they would use, trying to keep the shooter abreast of the condition of the rifle. If you picked one up, probably meant a lot more back in 1930 or 20, back then. Now you don't know when they did that last, and you just don't. Interesting rifle, and they shoot well. Let's try one more type of ammo here that maybe we haven't tried. How about this? S&B. I don't think we've shot any of that. Now these are 131 grain. Okay, soft point. Is that what that says? I think it does. Let's try that. Keep all this separate now. Mix them up. Yeah, soft point. Now that'd be a better hunting round perhaps. So you see lots of different kinds of ammo available for it. And sweetie, I tell you. One thing I haven't talked about is the recoil. Well, I did a little bit, didn't I, initially? But it's a very soft recoiling rifle. And it's a pleasure to shoot. I could shoot this thing all day if I had the ammo. It's nice. I don't know if we have any targets left. We'll shoot something. Try to shoot some dirt. Shoot an acorn off a tree. Okay. Nice rifle. Nice rifle. Okay. What do we see? What have I forgotten? Let's try the plate. Okay. Good, that same hole. Let's try this 2-liter right here, see if it'll break it. Oh. You know what we might do? Let's just back up a little bit and take a shot on the cinder block close by here. If we survive it, it's all glassed up and everything. I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist. Okay, so like I said, the Type 1 shorter version is the conversions of these. The Type 2 is the Firearms made to be a Model 38 shorter version, and these are the Model 96, and this is the one you're going to see the most in all ranges of condition. I mean, I've seen these things that are pretty rough, and I haven't seen many like this one. This one is a beauty. It really is. I probably just won't give it back. We'll just claim we lost it. Is that somebody stole it? But a beautiful gun, and I can see why so many of you have recommended I try one, and that you have written about them to me and said I need to try it, and asked me to get my hands on one because I like it. It's been in the back of my mind for a good while now, and in fact the fellow who lent me this from the Jolton Gun Shop, when I found out he had one, okay, so we got to put it on the calendar for when I was off this month, and then in the meantime I'd actually purchased one, so we'll just wait and do them together. Really nice, 1917. I mean, isn't that cool? That gun was made in 1917, and here we are. It's just as viable today to target shoot, to hunt with. And you might want the shorter version, but if you're going to be climbing a tree in a deer stand, but it would work anyway. Just a wonderful gun with a very interesting cartridge. And I don't think I forgot anything major I wanted to tell you about it, or at least what I know. I know that little hole there, I didn't tell you about that hole. I read that they use those when they're, how the military likes to have stack them, put them together. They would take the cleaning rod out and run that through, make like several of them, just that's what that's for, I read. And so basically a variation of the Mauser, and a really good one. And I think a lot of people claim this to be, the best one. I don't know if they're right or not. Locks on closing, and it's a wonderful rifle. You'll probably see more of at least mine, because I'll be bringing it out occasionally and taking a few shots with it. So hope you enjoyed that. Swedish Mauser, Model 96. Life's really good.